Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Money Mindset Reboot, our 5-day, I don't want to call it a challenge, it's a bit of a journey I think, and thank you all so much for taking part. There was some wonderful feedback in the Winning Women group yesterday, and it's brilliant for me to read this, and what I would love you to do with this is to keep these statements beside you and use them for creating your vision of your 2022. And these can also become your I don't say affirmations, but they're your way of directing your energy to the universe and telling your brain and the universe what you want to achieve. So for instance, you can turn them into a claim, because when you claim something, you're being really powerful. It's like you're putting your best foot forward, saying, I claim. And you may have heard me do this around my day. So I claim today is fun and joyful, and I'm going to have so much fun today. And I've kind of claimed this call. This call is really transformational and fun for the women who are on it. I claim that. So I come onto this call with that energy because I've claimed it. I've been really positive and powerful and in my body about it. And you can see I'm kind of moving into it as well, aren't I? It's a physical thing, and it's as if you're putting your right foot forward and moving into it. So you can use these beautiful claims. So what do we got here? There you go. I claim I'm living in my work, my passion, and my commitment, and I'm paid wonderful money for doing just that. So that could be your claim. Or what else we got here? Yeah. So what being wealthy means to me: I claim I'm paid really well for being who I am, trusting myself to do what needs to be done, and to know and believe that I'm capable of doing it. Well, if you get paid really well for doing that, how does that feel? So if you claim that to the universe that's you and the bigger universe, that means you are becoming the God of you, and you're telling your subconscious and putting that energy out there, and that's what you'll emanate, and that's what your reticular activating system will go in looking for. And this happened to me this week. I put a course out and someone signed up for it, and I had a chat with her, and what she really wants to do is something far bigger. And this lady who worked with me about 5 years ago, never heard from her since, just said, Rosemary, just be aware who's watching you. You know, and it's coming back to that energy in that emanation, and that's when we start really attracting. There you are. So that's what you're going to do with yesterday. So keep those and start building your vision of 2022. And we're going to start peeling a few more bits away today. Lovely. So what I want you to look at today is what was modelled for you around money, and also showing yourself love when you were small. So all our beliefs, as I'm sure you all know, because you're all amazing women on this call who've done a lot of work on yourselves. That's my ideal client, by the way. What's modelled to us and what we hear from anyone in our life up to the age of about 8 is what we absorb, and that becomes our subconscious beliefs. And it really helps to go back and have a look at it and just to see what was modelled to you. So you can either just sit there and write down what was modelled to me about money when I was a child, and on the other side of the page, what was modelled to me about self-worth. And then I suggest you kind of link the two up, because there could be the old thing of, mummy, can I have an ice cream? Or have you been a good girl? I don't think so. You didn't make your bed this morning. You didn't tidy your bedroom. No, you can't have an ice cream. So it's tying these things up. And even for me, as a highly sensitive person and an empath, I can already feel that in my body. And I don't actually remember that being said to me, but I can still remember the times when my father particularly was really angry with me. And I can still feel it in my body now. And I know for some people, and it's been very interesting looking back at an old school group, the things that used to really scare me at school, and bearing in mind this was the 1970s, so it was a different age, was often things that I was observing happening to other people, and they really traumatized me. But that child often just shrugged it off and moved on because it wasn't their paradigm. It was just what happened to them. Whereas for me, it became a really big thing. So most people who are probably on this call are probably empaths, highly sensitive people, maybe introverts as well. And if you want to know more about this, just a massive tip here. My most recommended book of 2021 has been Sensitive is the New Strong by Anita Moorjani. It is phenomenal for understanding ourselves as highly sensitive people and empaths. Okay, so I've got a few tips here just for some little pointers. If you've worked with me before, you'll have heard these before. But these are some questions to just ask yourself about money. And I'll put a link to this in there. I'll copy them out and I'll put them in one of the questions as well, so you've got access to them. So don't censor your answers here. Just I suggest you get a pen and paper and maybe do this again if you're listening in the car at the moment. But just go for your very first reaction. Don't analyze, just allow your subconscious to really pop up with the answers. So my biggest fear about money is, okay, first thing that comes to mind, my father felt money was. My mother felt money was. In my family, money caused. Money equals. I'm afraid if I had more money, I would. In order to have more money, I need to. And when I have money, I usually. And people with money are. So rich people are, wealthy people are. So these are all questions that came from an amazing book called Overcoming Under-Earning by Barbara Stanny. So as I said, I'll put them in the notes, but go through those and they are your way of revealing what your money beliefs are, what you've absorbed, what was modeled to you as a child. And you can take this as far as you want. When clients work with me, I ask you to write your money story, and I've known people send me 9 pages of A4. And it's been the biggest catharsis ever. That was an older lady. She was in her 60s and she spent 3 weeks doing it. And she said it was the best thing ever. She just unwrapped so much stuff about what she'd been taught as a child or been modelled to her as a child. And so the next bit, I'm sorry, I'm giving you quite a bit today, but take your time. You've got as long as you want to do this. It doesn't all have to be completed today. And please share any highlights in the Facebook group as well. I'll put a day 2 post in. What was modelled to you about loving yourself? Well, I'm well in my 50s and I didn't know what self-love meant, probably till about 3 years ago. And that's because I work with a mentor who truly believes that this is Dee Wallace, the whole essence behind creation is self-love. That's behind everything we do. So it really pays us to have a look at what was modelled for us. And so what did you see going on? Were you encouraged to sort of congratulate yourself, or were you the child who got 90%, 99%, I've heard, in an exam, and your father says, well, what happened to the other 1%? So have a little explore. Just go back, and this will be an ongoing thing. It won't come to you immediately. And I found last year in lockdown with the intensity, and there's a lot of that intensity still out there in the ether, partly because this is the time when we clear this stuff. We're clearing this stuff now, so we don't have to carry it forward into the new paradigm, the new era. I found a lot of things came up last year, and maybe they have for you. But if you write them down, get your journal book and write them down, what you're doing is you're physicalizing them. So you're taking that information, those beliefs, out of your subconscious and getting them on paper. And then your conscious mind can actually see them and read them. And the awareness of this is so powerful, because then you start to know what's running you. And if there's something in there that needs some healing, you can do it. There are many ways of healing these things, but you can't heal it until you know what it is. And you don't have to sit in the old stuff, but it helps to be aware of it. Then you can powerfully move forward. And this is no longer the age of spending 10 years on a psychiatrist analyst couch. This is like, I'm ready to sort this. I'm so ready to sort this. Doing something and then just moving forward. And that awareness, what you'll be aware of, and I always say that when people do their money archetypes with me and they go, oh my goodness, that's why I've got myself in so much trouble. When you look at the reflection of yourself and you start understanding your money personality, and think, I get to see a lot of that from my clients. And it's okay, now you know what your triggers are. You know what your personality traits are, so you can catch yourself, you can bust yourself. And you go, oh, that's my nurturer. If you ever work with me, you'll hear me saying that's my nurturer having a party, because a nurturer's tendency is to over caretake, to want to keep everything safe for everyone else, but not loving ourselves enough to put in ourselves first. Okay. So start becoming really aware of this, and we'll piece the bits together by the end of the week. So your 2 tasks are: what was modeled to you about money? Use the questions as an answer. And I'd suggest have that on the left side of the piece of paper, and on the right side, have what was modeled to me about loving myself in the widest context. All right, and we'll add more. And the other thing was to start taking what how you see wealth and making that into directions for yourself. But we'll piece all this together later on in the week. So have a fabulous day. Feel free to invite anyone to this challenge. All the videos are in the Winning Women group, or they can be sent out. They're all on YouTube. This is being streamed straight to YouTube. And thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.